And so I'd like to take this time to describe the intricacies of what I did for John Cage's TV Köln. Um, so, starting from the very beginning, I interpreted the O to be a knock on the bout, and since it's above the staff, I chose a pretty decently loud one on the upper end of the instrument, even though acoustically they're going to sound the same, but this is the high end. That's just the way it is. As I was preparing for this, I was looking around the inside of the piano to figure out things I was going to do. So I found the damper pedal on this one is actually, I'll try to show you inside. It's actually a bar with a piece of fabric on it. So when I went about doing the interior of the piano, I figured that I should at least use that once. So I actually started with that one. So on the 13th second of the first line, it'll be the sound of the damper pedal being drawn back and then released. As for the first keyboard thing, I originally was thinking something very similar to the Petrushka chord, but getting my fingers organized in that amount of time wasn't great, so I decided that the left palm on the pentatonic black keys, while the right hand played a tritone on the F and B, created an interesting sound that I really liked. Then afterwards, snap being up high and then the pat being down low is just physical height in comparison to where the staff is. And then as for the interior into the second line, since it is so high above the staff, I figured that it would make sense to do a strum of the upper notes inside the keyboard, or inside the piano itself. Going towards the end of that, I started tapping my high school ring on the lid. It's a higher timbre and pitch. Figured that would be pretty effective. As for the thing on the interior, picked up a pencil and struck the inside. Since it's kind of near the middle of the staff, I figured that particular area of pitch would be more effective for that. It's a mezzo forte because it's a little bit above the staff, but not crazy high above the staff in terms of volume. Moving on to the third staff, the first O, I saw that it was pretty low below the line, so I wanted to incorporate an interesting sound of slamming down the release pedal. So creating that airy sound effect that is both low in pitch and kind of guttural. I like the idea of that a lot. But I kind of decided that I wanted to keep the pedal depressed for the whole third line up until P, which we'll get to in a minute. And then there's the rapid 1 and O and 1 and A, at which point I decided that I wanted to punch the box of the piano itself just right in the front, creating a kind of low resonance, as well as a mason jar lid snap. And lid snap was something that actually I played back in high school. It was kind of fun, so I wanted to bring it back. It's still the same lid, because I've been keeping it in my clarinet case for probably way too long now. And then plucking the low note for the I, although I didn't play it that loud during the piece. And then for P, the fun part. At the beginning of the recording of the video, I took a couple of sips of water, and originally I thought I was gonna try to like pour it out or something, but I thought it would be a little more funny to have the water in my mouth for the whole time. Then suddenly, in the middle of the performance, seemed like I needed to throw up. So P stands for puke. Stupid, I know. As for the last staff, there are only 3 short elements. The K8, I just went from the bottom of the keyboard and did 2 A major and minor split thirds of this, but times 2 at the lowest range of the instrument. So more like this. But I played it all at the same time, since there's just one articulation for it. Nice and loud, kind of an underlying tone for the rest of the piece. As for the A part on that one, I For the auxiliary sound, I took the lid that I snapped before and just threw it behind me. It says low on the staff. Not only is that going to be a moderately quiet-ish sound, but not way too quiet, it's pretty soft, especially because of the distance between the microphone on my laptop and the floor behind me. Not only that, but it's physically getting lower. I tried to do that a couple of times in there. And then for the last note of the piece, I released the pedal and played a C, D, E flat quickly and moderately loud, about 3/4 of the way up the keyboard. I figured that would be an interesting way to end the piece. So there's my explanation for what just happened. Hope you enjoyed it.